So how about that? Kate Winslet on the show. Brilliant. Right, let's talk to Van Connor now, our film critic, and he is actually reviewing Lee for us. That's the film we've just had all the interviews about. Van, good evening.
Good evening to you, Petrie, as well. Thanks for having me back. And yeah, quite the coup there with the
pretty good,
Josh. And I wish I could say that the film kind of matches up to the fanfare. I don't think it's quite there. It does feel like dialed in, Kate Winslet, really? Phoned in, so to speak. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So as we've said, as it's been covered, she's depicting the true figure of Lee Miller here, who was the first prominent female war journalist, worked for Vogue in World War II, and got some of the most famous and most iconic images of the Holocaust and the concentration camps out there into the world. So I've got a clip for you. This is mostly a trailer sizzle reel. This is a clip for you from Lee.
I'm not sure we've got the clip, actually. Why don't we have the clip?
We're having a day.
Well, I'm having a day. This technology has gone wrong. Anyway, tell me. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm interested in this because, this is, to me, looking at women who go into war zones. I did the same thing. And so it's interesting to me in the earlier incarnation of these women when they really weren't accepted. I mean, I was barely. But, it's very interesting to me, especially when you're there at the liberation of somewhere like Dachau and other concentration camps. But it doesn't feel to you like it's that gritty, this film?
No, I mean, it does go into the emotional horror, but I feel like it goes into it a bit too little too late for what it needs to be. The film is very strange in how it wants to depict the actual sort of background of Lee Miller, because we're told, for instance, ex-model, turned photographer, and we're given a sort of an inkling as to what she was like. But there was what actually informs this very embittered, sarcastic persona that we sort of get introduced to. We're never really sort of fleshed out.
All right.
Really, then I think the film sort of lacks for that. Having said that, it's not a short film, but it's never an unentertaining film. Kate Winslet, even on her most phoned in, is still, one of the greats out there.
Yeah.
She's still Kate Winslet. Her basic average is better than most other people's best.
Yeah.
She plays very well opposite a surprising Andy Samberg. As well, I think plays the journalist David Hirsch, and the Life magazine photographer, and of course Andrea Riseborough, who you heard in the interview there.
She's intense, right?
I mean, she's got a twitchiness.
She's intense.
Twitchy well, that lady.
Yeah. Talk to me about Speak No Evil. I don't think we've got a clip of this either, Van, but tell me about Speak No Evil.
So Speak No Evil is an English language remake of a Danish film from about 2 years ago. I think it went straight to Shudder in this country, so it never really got much fanfare here, and I didn't know how to review it. I have got to see that now, having seen the English language one, and I can tell you there are some differences, and they're both great.
Oh, really?
So this is about two families who meet on holiday in Europe, right, on the continent. You have the British family, who are James McAvoy and Aisling Franciosi from The Nightingale. And you have the American family, who are Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis. And they become sort of vacation buds. And before they part ways, James McAvoy says, you've never been to the West Country. You've absolutely got to come out to the West Country. And they foolishly accept, only to, because this is a horror movie, very quickly discover that things are not right in the countryside. That James McAvoy maybe is not the man he presented himself as.
I mean, that's the worst nightmare, isn't it? Meeting somebody on holiday and then agreeing to see them again. I mean, why would you do that?
Right?
Why would
that's
you
how
do
you
that?
know that there are no Gen Z characters
really
in this,
bad.
because they had to actually befriend real people.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, that
but
sounds
McAvoy's
great.
terrific.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's doing full Andrew Tate.
He is incredibly sinister. And he said that he did channel Andrew Tate, didn't he? In this movie.
He did.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Split as well, if you remember his performance in the movie Split. And Scoot McNairy gets to play off of him very well as this sort of embittered soy boy beta cuck type. And then you have Mackenzie Davis, who's trying not to be too much of a Karen, but having so much fun with it simultaneously. It's a really good time. I thought this was really good fun. Like, so I hadn't seen the Danish one beforehand. I have now, since. And the Danish one is just a little bit more more sinister.
Oh, the Danish do that brilliantly, that sort of dark. It's because they live a lot of the time in the dark.
Well, they're the Danish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They do that incredibly well. Listen, talking of somebody who did everything incredibly well, I broke the news on my show yesterday about James Earl Jones. What has the reaction been to this legend? I mean, literally, proper legend.
It's that word. It's that one word there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Legend.
I mean, but it's thrown about. But he is a legend. He was a legend. He died at the age of 93. What has been the reaction? I know Mark Hamill said goodbye, Dad, or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah. Yes, there's been loads of. I think there's a clip of Carrie Fisher and James Earl Jones that circulate the rounds as well from one of the sitcoms or something.
Oh yeah, they only ever met on the set of what was it? Big Bang Theory.
Was it the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, the Big Bang Theory. They'd never met before, but obviously he was the voice of Darth Vader and she was Carrie Fisher. Yeah. So, but that was the first time they'd actually met in person.
And it does mean that something good finally came of the Big Bang Theory existing. So there is that. But yeah, it has been very nice to see everyone sort of come out and sharing their favourite. Because everybody has a different favourite James Earl Jones performance or scene. I'm very fond of him in the Jack Ryan movies. For instance, and it's a strange one to have, but I love him in the Jack Ryan movies. But it has been nice to see everyone just coming forward and sharing their favourite James Earl Jones performances. Yeah.
Do we know? I mean, he died at the age of 93. I think he had diabetes. Is there any more information out about his death?
Not that I have come across as yet, no. No,
they're keeping it very, very private, aren't they? The Crow. I've got to talk to you about this. This is the reboot. I mean, why it needed a remake, I literally have got no idea. It wasn't particularly good either way. But The Crow did so badly that it's been dumped onto streaming already.
Well, the thing is, though, nowadays when films do well, they get dumped onto streaming in 20 minutes. So this really isn't the black mark that I think people think it is, but it is very telling that it will have had 3 weeks on general release. They refused to show it to critics. We weren't allowed to review it.
Oh, that's not a good sign, is it?
There was not, we asked. We all asked.
That's not a good sign. Oops.
No. It opened to absolutely abysmal takes out in the US, and the reception to it has not been very good. I mean, I know people that have been really excited to actually pay money and go and see it, and they come away quite disappointed.
Oh no!
And to which my immediate response is, "What do you expect?
What
it's
did
2024, and we're still making Crow movies. Stop doing that."
Yes, immediately. Just stop. Spider-Man won't stop, though, will it?
No, it won't, but it is taking a bit of a hiatus.
Oh.
The weird thing is, the same time this is being announced, there's a director, Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, Short Term 12. He has just signed on to direct the 4th live-action Spider-Man that's going on over at Marvel Studios for the Avengers side. But at the same time, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is the 3rd part of the Spider-Verse trilogy, this has been delayed to 2027, it's rumoured. And this is a film that's already been mired in controversy surrounding the treatment of its animators and the unfair work conditions that Marvel put upon them. Now being said that there's creative differences in-house as well, and that they want to scrap a large section of the film and things like that. And it's just simply not going to be possible to have this film ready for when it was supposed to. And it was meant to be a year's gap between 2 and 3, and it's already been that year.
So it should have been out already.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. Treat people badly. That's what you get, Van. That's what you get.
Well, that's why I come back to you, Petrie.
Yes, because we adore you. Thank you so much, Van. Film critic there. So Lee and Speak No Evil. Right. I won't...